This shit is genuinely terrifying, and I actually mean that with every sincere fiber of my being. In the nearly 12 years that I've done YouTube, I have not seen shit like this before in terms of viewer retention. I have not seen attention spans get this low before. And I'm not complaining on my behalf purely. I'm also complaining on the behalf of like multiple content creators who say the same thing, who actually publicly share their stats. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, people started complaining about the whole TikTok thing. They're like, oh, my viewer retention's tanking now because TikTok is ruining attention spans. And at that time, I didn't really experience it, right? Because I was uploading to a very specific niche. I was making Call of Duty rants, and viewer retention was like 30 to 50%, sometimes even more. I could upload like a 15-minute video, and the average viewer retention would be like 7 minutes, which is crazy. That's almost 50%. That's crazy, right? But nowadays, you could upload like a 10-second video, and like most people will click off at the 3-second mark. I'm not kidding. Like it's that bad. So I'm looking at my viewer retention stats for my recent videos, even the videos that I put effort into, which is like that one video that I titled "I Don't Care About Gaming Anymore." And it's a 6-minute, 12-second video. I scripted it. I actually put effort into the scripting. I put effort into the video itself. I didn't mean it to be a 30 frames per second video. I didn't realize my editor was doing that. It was actually supposed to be a 60 FPS video, like the video that came after it, but let's just check viewer retention stats. So I gained 6 subscribers from that video, which is amazing. But if we look at the viewer retention, it's basically at 20%. The average person viewed the video for like 1 minute and 20 seconds, which is whatever, if you're not interested in the video, whatever. But it's a pretty straightforward and cut and dry video. There's really no beating around the bush. There's no clickbait. There's no sort of anything. So if you clicked on the video, you knew what you were getting into. But most people just kind of clicked off fairly early, right? I could respect that, okay? When I click on a video, I'm not always watching it to the end. I'm not complaining about that completely. I'm not gonna force someone to watch my video, right? But then we go to another video, Autistic Walter White Clones Steal Math. Now this is, again, even more cut and dry than the last one. This is a video that I actually held on to for several months that I never made public because I just didn't think this would do well on my channel. So after I discovered the whole thing about turning your sub box thing off before uploading, I decided, oh, well, I'll just do that so I'm not spamming my subscribers, and I'll just upload this and have it find like a little niche sort of community of people that still watch Funny Moments videos for some reason, or still like to watch kind of silly-hearted GTA videos. So it's a clear cut and dry video. You would expect 7 minutes and 50 seconds long. Back in the day, a video like this would have had an average viewer retention of about 40%. People would maybe view it for the first 3.5 minutes, and then maybe click off if the editing wasn't great, or if the quality wasn't great, if the frame rate had it, just stuff, right? Just things. You would think back in the day that would be it, and it would, because I've uploaded videos like this back in the day. I know how these videos used to do. Well, if you look at the viewer retention for this video, the viewer retention is a whopping 15%. Like, over half of everybody clicked off after the first, 15 seconds. That's crazy. And then the other half dropped off at the 1 minute mark. So like literally 10% of everybody who clicked on the video actually watched the video, which is crazy. I get it. It's not a hyper edited video like a Mr. Beast video, which is pretty much what you have to do nowadays to even have higher viewer retention, which is crazy to me. But this is pretty nuts. To me, this is pretty nuts. I used to upload videos like this all the time on my old channel. This is pretty unusual. And another thing as well that's more so like an old YouTube tip is people would say back in the day to like increase your viewer retention to upload long form content. Long form being like videos that are around 15 to 30 minutes long, just obviously putting effort into it or pouring hard to it, or I don't know, you could upload anything, any kind of long video, and generally the people that stuck around would make up statistically for the people who didn't, right? I've done this before. I know this works, or at least it worked a few years ago. And the recent long video that I actually made, which was titled Reminiscing on 2016 Music and Society, again, pretty clear cut dry. I'm not clickbaiting here. I'm not misleading an audience. When someone clicks on this video, they know what they're getting into. It's most likely a guy talking about stuff and things. It's a 23-minute and 38-second video. Can you guess how long people stuck around for? Like 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Yeah, 13.2% retention rate. Despite the fact that it's a 60 frames per second video, the quality is pretty okay. And it's not hyper edited, but there's like no dead space between words, at least not much. It was decently edited, you know, the dialogue, everything was okay. It was all just a genuinely kind of sincere video. And again, a video like this back then would have had a much better viewer retention than what it would achieve nowadays. But to really get to my point here, shit is getting so bad to the point where I'm actually considering doing short form content or even long form content in the form of maybe like a podcast or something one day, I don't know. Because clearly mid form content, which is what I classify to be like YouTube content, like the average video that's under an hour, mid-form content is clearly dying because the only mid-form content that is performing decently well is videos that either cater to a very specific niche or videos that are edited like Mr. Beast's videos. Videos that are hyper edited, you know, you're having subtitles chucked at your face, you're hyper editing, there's like no space between words, just insane color filters, insane editing, B-roll footage all the time. Like, unless you're making videos like that on YouTube, your video isn't going to be really seen by anybody. And that's just a hard fucking fact. And it's really making me consider just doing like shorts or switching off of YouTube sort of kind of a little bit. Like not fully switching off of YouTube, of course, but like kind of shifting my focus away from this format because this isn't working anymore. Unless I make videos that I almost don't want to make to appeal to a certain kind of very specific demographic, there's kind of no point. YouTube just isn't the same anymore. And that's reflected in the quality of videos from even channels that are popular. You could click on a video from Call of Duty YouTuber number 47 or Battlefield YouTuber number 30 or a GTA YouTuber or even a guy who's talking about some just like real life shit. You could actually physically see the compensation for poor attention spans in their editing, in the way they talk, in the way they format their video. Everybody has to script nowadays. Everybody has to like throw out subtitles and flashy fucking bits and flashy visuals because people are just fried. TikTok, I mean, it's even bad with short form content. Like this is kind of the last part of my video here. It's even bad with short form. You could go on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, and if you hit that kind of like market where I think most people are in the Gen Z demographic, you'll start to see videos that are like it's like a regular video is on the top or the bottom, and below it or above it is like Subway Surfers or GTA or Call of Duty gameplay or Fortnite gameplay. Like, people are so fried out that they can't even sit through a fucking YouTube short anymore, or a TikTok, which is, again, a minute or less. That's all it is, a minute or less. It could be a fucking Joe Rogan clip that's interesting, right? Even if somebody's interested in the clip, their brain physically tells them to switch off the video. So in order to trick their brain into not doing that anymore, people on these videos actually have to put fucking Subway Surfers on the top of the video, or GTA fucking racing, or Fortnite battles, just to trick their brain into like not having that impulse, just to have something else for their eyes to really dart to as soon as their brain gets bored of the shit they're actually watching the video for. It's nuts. It's crazy. Being a YouTuber nowadays, especially a smaller channel, on a platform that literally requires you to have a good viewer retention to get your videos recommended to anybody, it's difficult. It's like not really feasible, you know? So I really don't know what I'll be doing with YouTube anymore, to be completely honest. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and go like, oh, everybody should watch my video. You know, I'm not, you know, that kind of person. I'm just kind of being realistic here. If this platform is really gonna go full send into this viewer retention madness, where the algorithm almost entirely favors viewer retention, I cannot make the content that I currently make if I expect any sort of growth. Most of my YouTube career has not really been centered around growth. I never really cared much about growth. I kind of uploaded videos for the sake of uploading because it was kind of a hobby of mine. It still kind of is. But at some point, you kind of expect to grow a little bit, or, you know, make a little bit of money off of YouTube, or find a audience that enjoys the format, enjoys the content. But nowadays, that doesn't really seem to be possible or realistic. So I don't know what I'll be doing, but I don't know. Might not be this.